Hello, welcome to the Loney Show. I'm your host, Rmeister. And in this episode, I brought on a new regular, Rmeister. And as for our guest, he's from California. He's retired from the military and law enforcement, and has now gained tons of experience on crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Antonio Ladson.
Hey, how's it going there? Nice to be on the show.
Yeah. So, how's life?
Life's pretty good. Since we're talking about crypto, life is very eye-opening right now with the volatility, with all the events going on in the world. So crypto is something to stand up and look at right now. It's really amazing to be in a crypto environment right now. The space is awesome.
Yeah. So, have you been up to much recently in terms of crypto?
Well, you know what? I started my process probably about 3 years ago, but I really got into it about a year and a half ago. One day, my cousin called me from New York, and he really got me involved in Forex. Forex is a pretty good process where you really don't own nothing. You're just trading currency against currency. So as I was doing that, you would buy Bitcoin to send it to your broker account. And I didn't really understand what Bitcoin was, but I was just doing that. And then I started looking at what Bitcoin really was, and it kind of led me down the rabbit hole to understanding what crypto is. So I really got into crypto and understanding utilities, what it is, and that space itself, not just a digital asset, but it's a technology wrapped all together. So I found that really fascinating, and that led my journey. And I just, from there, I just let it fly. There's so many different aspects about crypto itself. That average person here, Bitcoin, but when you really take a deep dive into it, Bitcoin is a digital asset with a similarity to gold. But if you look at other platforms like Ethereum, that platform offers so much more than just being a digital asset. I mean, the platforms itself offer different technologies that you can build on. And you look at ADA, where we talk about the block itself, where information is power, and all that information is put together and kept in an open source, and decentralized it leads into other avenues. I just think I was fascinated to understand what crypto was. My thing is I missed the boat when the internet came out, and now that crypto is coming out, to include the metaverse and Web3, it's an exciting time. I think we're at the tip of the spear of this new digital age, and something to sit there and take notice of. So I'm just fascinated with crypto. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just fascinated with it. So with that, I started a company, Blaquecrypto, which is BLAQUE crypto, and I took that business and turn it into a learning platform. Information in crypto is very vast. The average person really don't understand what it is. We talk about an industry that commands $2.1 trillion. Now that it went down this week, about $1.8 trillion. Is something you sit there and you take notice of. So if you ask the average person on the street, yeah, I've heard about Bitcoin, but if you ask the average person, are you into it? I don't think they understand the process of how to get into it and how to do a deep dive research into it. So I kind of took that reins and trying to bring that space up to helping others understand what it is. So I was sitting there with my granddaughter one day, and she was asking me about it. I was explaining her basic level, and I took that conversation we had, and I wrote a book. It's called Brandy and Jacob Crypto Adventure, and it kind of geared toward the age of 9 and 13 year olds. And it tells the story of crypto at the basic level. It takes them down that journey of what is crypto, what is a blockchain, is a similarity to the stock market. She liked it. It was just a fun book, to the point where a couple of my adult friends read it, and it's like a light bulb coming on. Oh, that's what crypto is. It's not as extensive as people think it is. So that's pretty much what I've been doing with it. I just think it's an amazing space to be in.
Great. I might say
seems
you
like
tell
Rmeister, you want to ask us?
Is there a difference between Bitcoin and crypto, or is it like the same?
So crypto is the platform. Bitcoin is one of the base itself. I think when people hear the word Bitcoin, they think Bitcoin is crypto, but it's the other way around. Bitcoin was probably one of the leaders way back to 2000. We can go way down to 2008 to 2011, 2013, where it was first initialized. And, it was formed to give you an option to get away from fiat currency. And when I say fiat currency, I look at it like the dollar, the peso, the Deutsch, the euro. You get away from that and you kind of can make yourself your own bank. We look at banks today. So is it a pushback from governments when we start talking about the centralized of course we do. So to combat their plan, they come up with a CBDC, central bank digital currency. And I think when people hear that, they really don't understand what that really says. Central bank digital currency. The key word in that whole acronym right there is central. So it's centralized again, where the government really controls your money. So if you take a decentralized asset in crypto itself, can you be your own bank? Of course you can. You buy from an exchange, and then there's things called wallets that you can put it in, and you put a pass on it. You put 12 keys on it, you lock it up. You're your own bank. Even though there's a volatility in the market itself, goes up or down, your money stays with you. And you look at it right now, where we have the incident going on in Ukraine. So when war happens, what goes first? The economy goes first. The banking system goes first. So when that invasion started, the ruble and the Ukrainian money started decoupling, going down. So what do? They go to these exchanges and they go buy Bitcoin. They buy cryptocurrency, and they take anywhere you want to go with. So it kind of gives the world a lesson on a digital asset and how you can safeguard it to yourself. If I had $10,000 in the bank and I'm a Ukrainian, and that happens, the bank structure kind of falls. I may lose my money, but if I got $10,000 in crypto, no matter where I go, my money stays with me. You kind of see how you become your own bank kind of helps you out. So with that, you have to have regulations. And I think regulations are coming pretty quick. The EU is looking at regulation for crypto. America's looking at regulation, Canada. But, I welcome regulation. I welcome paying taxes, because when you regulate something, you have legal tender. And legalizing a digital asset is a great response for people in the space itself. So so many places you can go with crypto. I just get excited about it.
Great. And what do you like about revolving around cryptocurrencies?
I think I like the possible access, what it does and what it can do. What kind of future can we have with crypto? You look at the person who helped devise Ethereum, Charles Hopkins. He broke away from them and he came up with a coin called ADA, a different blockchain technology. And he really utilized that in Africa to help with their schooling system. When you start talking about blockchain in the digital asset itself, what does it do? What is utility to that asset? So that utility can do anything from record keeping, provide ledgers, keep contracts, support NFT, non-fungible tokens. It is so much technology wrapped into those digital assets that that's going to help the world itself just progress. So when you go to a country like Africa and help them with their record keeping using a blockchain technology, it leaps and bounds for that country, and it helps them out, not only with the record keeping, but identification process. It is so many applications that you can utilize. If you take a country like El Salvador, and they take their money and buy crypto, and as the volatility is there, but as the asset grows, their country become more independent from having to go to the central bank and borrow money. I think that the decentralized process of it is just a great thing to have. So that's what excites me about crypto itself. It's just a wonderful space. There's so much to it that we could have. I can sit here and talk about it all day. Now you talk about the metaverse. The metaverse comes in, it's just a game changer. So when you start talking about metaverse, our kids play Roblox. Our kids play, like Atari, when I'm talking real way back, PS4, PS5. So you can get a group of people with headphones or VR goggles, and they can meet in a centralized place. Say if an artist want to have a concert in the metaverse and he's selling tickets, you're watching this concert live from your house, and you're kind of interacting with everybody around you in the metaverse. Or you buy land in the metaverse. And people always ask the question, why should I buy land in the metaverse? Understanding what the metaverse will evolve to, you can understand why. So you buy property in the metaverse, and say 10 blocks down the road, you have a Gucci store, you have Prada. The other way, you have McDonald's, you got Nikes. Those people are advertising in the inner world because the connectivity is more. You guys in UK, I'm in California. I'll meet you in the metaverse. Let's go watch a concert together, live concert together. Let's interact together. Let's have lunch together in the metaverse. I mean, it's amazing what you can do. Say if you go to the metaverse at McDonald's, jump in the metaverse. Say you're in the metaverse, you're around, playing around, and you want to order lunch. You order from there, and Uber or DoorDash brings it to your house. I mean, there's so many things, and it's so exciting, that we can go into when we start talking about crypto, NFTs, metaverse, blockchain technology. It's just a good platform to understand and be in right now. So that's why I kind of jumped into this, and writing the kids' book, kind of teach our kids, what's coming down the road. We see internet right now, how it acts, and nobody really wanted to jump on the internet when it came out. Now we talk about Web3, more interactive, more products, more record keeping. You kind of put your presence on that also in a different way than the internet. So it's just exciting to see all this stuff being built right now. So that's why I have that passion for that space itself. And it's the more people understand it and get on board, the more they can understand, how it could help them out. We start talking about who gets these assets. You have your retail investor, you have your institutional investor. Retail investor is going to be a guy like me or you. We don't have those billions of dollars to jump for this, right? So we kind of buy crypto as we hear it because we don't really understand it. The institutional investor, big companies, Nike, Puma, Microsoft, Tesla, these guys see crypto and metaverses as something they can put their money in, utilize the technology, and also build on it. So when you see institutional investors taking notice to this space, you have to sit up and notice, wow, these guys are dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into this asset. I got to get in it too. I got to understand what's going on. I need to see what the metaverse is. What's this blockchain technology? What's Web3? I mean, I think Amazon, Disney, these guys are taking a big part to get into this space. So as a retail investor, you have to say, okay, if this much money is being dumped into this $1.8 trillion environment, why am I not in it? Why am I not learning about it? And right now we have a very small percentage globally that's into this. But each day, I think more people are getting involved, understanding, this doing UNICEF, they just got into the space. If you just look at technology itself, so many people, so many companies are getting into this space and utilizing this in so many different ways. It's just amazing. It excites me. I mean, I could talk about this for like a couple hours. That's how exciting it is.
Great. Fabulous. So I've heard you got your own online crypto academy. What exactly in your academy do you teach people about crypto?
So we open it up and then we have to pull it back for a minute. So in Blaquecrypto Academy, we're looking at the basic user, anywhere from the basic to the mid-level to the expert. A basic user. The question is, how do I buy crypto? What is crypto? Where did it come from? How was it formed? We answer questions like that. We walk you through the process of, what is it exchange? How do you get your fiat currency to an exchange and buy a crypto asset? We walk you through that process. We walk you through the process of understanding what a blockchain is. We walk you through the process of understanding what the metaverse is. So we go from beginners to expert. And we try to be interactive. We try to have, meetings to anyone who wants to join in irregularly. And we do QAs. I think when you get a person who gets into the space as a beginner and put their money, once you put your money into something, of course you want to go learn more. And then that's what gets you right there. So I think that's what we offer at the Black Crypto Academy. We give you a place to feel comfortable and understand at an entry level of how to get into this space. And then as you progress, we go to the medium level, other things you can do. When I say medium level, I start talking about farming, mining, staking. How do you stake your money? And I'll take staking as a basic example right there. A bank gives you 0.1% anytime you deposit your money in the bank and hold it. But at the same time, if I'm another person, I want to borrow money from the bank, depending on what my credit score is, they're going to charge me accordingly with APR, anywhere from 4 to 11% just to borrow that money. But at the same time, I leave my money parked in there. They only give me 0.1% on it. At the same time, I have a digital asset, and you have to look at different exchanges to see what they offer. But I have a digital asset. Say I got $10,000, and on my exchange, they're offering me an opportunity to stake my money. So basically, what they're telling me is, if I let them utilize my digital asset, they're going to let me park it there, and they're going to give me a percentage higher than what you get from the bank. I think that's a conflict when you start talking about the central bank and banks looking at crypto, said, oh man, these guys don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, I think they're saying we can't compete with that. We can't compete with those returns that they're giving. So I think the banks, instead of competing, they're going to get into that game. So that's what Black Crypto kind of offer. It tells you the basic things you need to know to sustain yourself in this asset class. You start from the beginning, you go to the middle, you go to expert, but there's different levels on this. I mean, I think there's guys out there who start these things up, and I don't think they really look at it from a real basic eyes, saying, okay, what is crypto and how do I get in? You have to start there. I mean, you start at the lowest level, and I think Black Crypto Academy, we're adding on every day new things, and the crypto space evolves so fast. You constantly have to update the information that you're providing people so they can understand. You can't put up a academy and utilize information and just expect that information to stay current or real on an ongoing basis. It's constantly upgraded. New applications are constantly upgraded. Blockchain information is constantly upgraded. Exchanges are constantly upgraded. The way you interact, stake your money is constantly upgraded. So I think Black Crypto Academy understand that. So we're constantly trying to upgrade what we're teaching folks to make folks want to come back and learn. So that's Black Crypto Academy in a nutshell.
Interesting. I like it very indeed.
Are you guys into crypto?
Oh yes,
No,
I'm woven into crypto.
I am
Basic
not.
level. Oh wow, you're not.
I'm sorry, but I don't know much about crypto.
Hey, Black Crypto Academy. I think I think right now, if you, I hate to see that word nerd, but if right now, if you're standing at a party and there's 20 people in that party, you got one guy talking about crypto, and that's all he's talking about. You probably have two guys that want to talk to him. Everybody else is probably going to look like, really, what is that? I'm not into it. I'm not really involved in that. But the three guys that's sitting there talking, they understand, how big this thing is going to get. And they understand. I mean, look at the Super Bowl in America. That's a big thing. You look at it, they're paying what was it, $7 million for 30 seconds? And then you have FTX. You have you got LeBron James giving crypto ads. at that level, a guy like Tom Brady, Matt Damon, at that level, when they're throwing that kind of money into this space, you have to understand that it's going somewhere. You have to recognize that, this is a space that's, that you should get into. To me, I call crypto itself a transfer of wealth. And when I say that, old money to new money. And when I talk old money, you talk your Ivy League colleges that teach you about Forex, teach you about stock, teach you about day trading, teach you about the GDP, the CPI. They teach you all of that. Now you're talking about a new asset, a new digital class that the average person gets into and can make a lot of money on. And you're self-taught, or you learn by communication, Telegram, watching YouTube, join these academies, and you get into these spaces, and you can make your money kind of quick. I mean, I do stocks myself, so I've never had a stock where I can gain 12% within 6 months, let alone a year. You get, and not all crypto is going to make you rich, but if you understand utility of that crypto, where it's going, who's backing it up, read the white paper, do your homework on that asset, you can make that 12% in fairly 3 days if it goes up. Can you lose it that fast at the same time? You can't. I think the only difference between stocks and crypto is the volatility and how fast you can make and lose your money. That separates those things right there. But, is it worth it? I think it's worth it. I think it is well worth it. When the technology itself grows, when companies are using that blockchain technology to put their information in there, so it's stored, it grows. When companies are using NFTs for things to get a digital number to it, it grows. I just think the whole space grows. I don't think it's not going to slow down no time soon. So, which one of you guys say you're not into it?
I seem interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you got to really get into. It's something that if you sat down and understood it, you'd be like, wow. I mean, I think about 70% of individuals got into the crypto space in 2021. Why, I don't know. But a lot of people got into it in 2021 because if you look at January 2021, the crypto market was very low, and it shot up. It low down in June, and it shot up again. So last year, a lot of people made money. And you understand, a lot of governments was not involved at the time. There was not too many regulations regulating it at the time. So if you got in January 2021, you made pretty good profit. This year, the first 2 months, crypto assets kind of went down. And you got to look at what's going on. We're looking at global inflation. We're looking at war. We're looking at a lot of things that affected the markets this year. But to me, March, April, I can see them going back up. I can really see it gain momentum again. I can really see it happening.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. And what do you think the impact that your children's book might have on young kids that may not know what crypto is?
I think it should be a good impact. When you're dealing with kids, you got to keep them intrigued. You got to keep their attention on it, and it's got to be something they want to read. I have 4 kids and I have grandkids, and to me, when you have something that fascinates kids, it gets their attention going. And I think I wrote my book to kind of tell a story in a fun way. You see little Johnny riding the bike. My dad got crypto. Brandy and Jacob's wondering what's crypto. And it kind of leads down the trail of another kid in the park saying, "Hey, I know what crypto is." You kind of make it secretive, and then you go to our scientist, and he kind of takes them down into the crypto world and explains it to them, dropping nuggets. It's kind of the adventure itself. That's the first book of many. I wrote my second book already. It's going to be dealing with the metaverse. Brandy and Jacob lost to the metaverse. So, the metaverse is a big thing this year. So I try to make it fun for the kids at the same time. It's a learning tool and it's fun. And the key word is fun. Even though learning is a big part, but it's fun. When it's fun, they learn. And, when you start talking about the things I'm writing about, our kids do it every day. I mentioned Roblox earlier. I don't know what kid is not playing Roblox. Roblox is a form of the metaverse itself. You keep on buying these items just to play the game. Yeah, the metaverse is doing the same thing. It's a little more advanced. You just got to look at it like that. So that's I think my book is pretty good. So I think it's a good learning tool.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
Yeah, you guys got to cop a copy. It's selling on Amazon right now. Brandy and Jacob Crypto Adventure on Amazon. I've been getting pretty good feedback right now. I get a couple of adults, telling me, "Hey, I got your book. I got it for my kids. I read it too. I know what crypto is now." It's kind of a joke we laugh about. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
When your 9-year-old's telling you what crypto is, Dad sticks and grabs a book and go read it himself. Say, "I got this." It's kind of funny.
Absolutely. So, what's your biggest regret in life?
Wow. That's a sideliner here. It's a sideliner, boy. I don't know. I thank God. I've been truly blessed. I was born in Sumter, South Carolina. My family moved to New York City.
Wait a minute. Lawrence, wait, were you born in South Carolina?
Sumter. You guys,
born in Columbia.
Oh, you're right down the road. Hell, 30 minutes.
I live in Clinton. I don't live in Columbia anymore.
Uh-huh.
I'm still in the state.
Okay. So you go down. I moved to New York when I was a kid, but every summer, we go back home. That was a learning thing, going back home and seeing the family and everything else. And after I left New York, I moved around California, Vegas. I joined the military from California. So I joined the military. I went to Europe, stayed in Europe quite a few years. I got to visit UK, England, you name it. I did a lot of traveling when I was over there. I was stationed in Germany. I got out. I joined law enforcement. Did a lot of traveling in law enforcement. I was in a state agency. And I have no regrets. I think my life happened the way the Lord wanted it to happen. I think we have our struggles every day. I think I was truly blessed to be able to live my life. Every person should be able to say that. We're going to have downfall. We're going to have hardship. We're going to have setbacks. Everything's not always going to be right. You're going to be broke. Something's going to happen. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone doing worse than you are. And that's a blessing, I can say. When I say somebody's doing worse than you, I don't mean it like that, but someone always going to have it harder than you have it. And you got to understand you're truly blessed. I got both my legs. I can see, I can walk. I'm not paralyzed. I'm fairly healthy. So when you say, what's my regret? I have no regrets in life. I thank God for everything he's allowed me to do.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
yeah.
No, go ahead. That was a deep question, man.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
I hope breathing, but 20 years from now, I don't know. I'm happily married. My kids, they all went to college. They're successful. 20 years from now, I'm retired. I make a pretty good income retired. I've jumped into another phase of my life with this crypto, writing books, building academies. 20 years from now, I just hope I'm in the same space in my mind right now where everything, is going good. It's good in bad days, but
would you ever, if you say you write books, would you ever consider, I don't know, you probably write only books about crypto and such. Would you ever write a book about being like a fictional universe? or adventure books?
I've pondered on that, and it's kind of funny. I pondered on. I think about that a lot now that I got a lot of time on my hand. A lot of things come to mind. That would be something to do right there. I don't know how would you frame that when you said that?
I just think like adventure books, like for example, like not on the same level as the Star Wars Expanded Universe, but like something like somewhere that kids or adults can enjoy, like the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson.
Okay, I can see that. I think my next book I'm going to put out, Lost in the Crypto, Lost in the Metaverse. It's kind of an adventure. It's more of an adventure because there's a lot of you remember. I don't know if you guys remember Tron. Remember Tron?
Yeah.
Where the guy's locked in the computer. So the metaverse is nothing but Tron in today's date. All the things that we see back in Tron, with the cycles, the overseer and all of that, that's the metaverse these days. You have different metaverse, applications coming out, but essentially that's the metaverse. And I think my next book talks about that. These guys are lost in the metaverse, and they have adventures. It's fictional. They have adventures. They see different things, but I think as they have these adventures, they learn something at the same time. Maybe the blockchain's broken down. They're trying to fix a blockchain. I don't want to give too much away, but just stuff like that. I think just make it fun. I keep them short stories, but one day I might make it a little bigger and get deep into it and wrap them all up in one big novel. It's not going to be Harry Potter, but I might try to go there.
I know I've never read Harry Potter, but
I'm just saying, man. Harry Potter, he took the world by storm. And you got to figure, when he started writing his book, how many kids went out and bought magic kits? How many parents bought magic kits? How many parents went out and bought a cape, bought a little wand? Harry Potter.
No. How they got a wand is that they went out to the yard, grabbed a stick.
That's for us poor kids, man. yeah, exactly though. But it took you on a whole different adventure. I see adventure in crypto the same way. How do you look at a blockchain and turn that into a kid's adventure? A lot of people don't know what a blockchain is, but it is very simple. Once you understand it, it's just getting folks to understand. Hey, this stuff is very adventurous and everything else. You see, you talk about life itself. I worked at different. When I retired as a level as a captain, and I used to work in prisons. I worked at fire camps, and I used to see kids coming at 19 years old for petty crime, got 2-year sentences, and then they get in prison, they join prison gangs. Before you know it, they committed more crimes in prison. Now they got 10 years. It's kind of crazy when you talk about life itself and how fast it can change. And then I look at the department, California Department of Correction itself. If an individual was incarcerated, there was always a chance and an opportunity to gain some kind of a tool to utilize on the outside world. When I start talking about my past events.
Sorry, my cat.
Yeah, I guess that was very interesting. I guess that's all we have for this episode. It was great having you here, Antonio, discussing about crypto, your crypto academy. It was fabulous.
Yeah, well, hey, welcome you guys to follow me on Instagram. Got about 55,000 followers on there. It's Blaquecrypto on Instagram, Facebook. I jumped into the venture of TikToking.
Poor soul. Your poor soul, because TikTok can be one heck of a place.
It sure is, man. It sure is. But hey, if you're gonna jump big. If you're gonna fly high. If you're gonna run fast. That's what I think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on, though.
Anytime.
Anytime, dude.
And until next time, stay tuned for more.